everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Sarah Jane from Misunderstood. Now today I have a lady joining me from Adelaide, Australia. Now she's in the process of making a documentary about late diagnosed autism in women and non-binary people. So if anyone wants to get in touch with her to be part of the documentary, then she'd love to hear from you, and I will put her contact details below. So today we're going to be discussing the impact of weak working memory, which is one of your executive functioning skills. So let's connect. Hi Beck, how are you?
Hi, how are you going?
I'm good, thank you. Today we're going to be talking about how to recognise people that have a weakness with executive functioning skills and the negative impact that it has on someone's life. So these skills start developing in early childhood and continue into adolescence. They're developing right into your late 20s. So we have working memory, flexible thinking, and inhibitory control. Working memory is the ability to hear and see new information, hold on to that information long enough to be able to use it for a purpose. So what does that mean? Really, we forget everything.
A good example of that is if I get messages or emails and I know it's going to be something that I have to make note of, I won't open them until I know that I'm either at my desk or at my diary, and that I can write it down straight away, because if I don't, it'll get forgotten.
Yeah, I think with the phones as well, if you don't answer them, you always have that reminder when you look at the phone. So
yeah.
You just don't, if you do answer them or if you read them, that's it. Whatever you're supposed to be doing.
That's right. Once that little dot's gone to remind me, I forget.
Definite. Yeah, definite. Yeah. I think with me, one of my biggest problems is my front garden. I don't see the front garden until I'm stepping out of the house. So when I'm going out the house, I'm going to do something. So I think I need to cut my grass, and then I get in the car and I go off to where I'm going, and I don't think of the garden again until I come back to the house and I think I need to cut the grass. But I'm obviously going in the house and I'm doing something, so it's like you don't see the grass again until you go back out the next morning, and it's like then 6 weeks later the neighbours are looking at you. It's you have to see it, and once it's gone out of you, once you stop looking at it, yeah, it's gone.
And if I accidentally open a message and it's something I've got to make note of, I actually have to say to my husband, can you please remind me?
Yeah.
I've got to remember that tomorrow.
Definite. No, I would and you know, they say write it down, but then when you've gone to look for the pen and the piece of paper, you've forgotten what you're even doing.
You forget by that time. Yeah, that's right. And even if something is in my diary, I can forget it unless I remember to look at my diary. Yeah. Sometimes I can forget anyway. Yeah, it's like with our household, my husband is the one that does all the housework and running of the household. If I was in charge of it, it'd be a mess.
Chaos.
When I was on my own with 2 kids before we met, you know, I'd do a few dishes, and then I might go and half wash the basin, and then I'd put a load of washing, and then, you know, if I was lucky, I'd come back to do a few more dishes. The load of washing might get hung out, but then it'll stay on the line for 3 days, and because I'd run out of time, and then it would be time to go and get the kids, and everything would be half done.
And the thing is, when you probably look out of your window when you're starting to wash up, you think, I need to get that washing in, but I've got to wash up.
Yeah.
So that the washing still stays out.
Yeah.
I think keeping the house tidy is probably one of the biggest things that, if you have difficulty with your executive skills, I think it uses every single skill. And if you have 3 good skills and 5 weak skills, you know, it's going to impact you with, you live in chaos. You know, you can never get tidy. You just walk around in circles because you know, you might have gone into another room to do something, but by the time you've got into that room, you've seen something. I mean, I could be making the coffee and I've gone to the fridge to get the milk, and then I see something, I think, oh, shall I cook that for breakfast? And then I'm like, and then I go back, and then it's like,
Yeah.
You just forget literally within a
Yeah.
second. You only have to
Yeah,
look at something.
Yeah, I quite often have to retrace my steps to figure out what I went to the other end of the house for.
Yep. I do that when I'm on the computer. If I think, oh God, I've got to go to that page to do something. By the time I get to that page, I was like, now what did I have to do? I'd have to go back to the page that I was at, so it would remind me of what I was supposed to be doing. And I just keep thinking it in the head.
I do it with my phone, because my phone does so many different things, of course, these days. I pick up my phone to do something, and then I just look at it and think, what was I actually going to do?
Definite. Yeah. I think it's recognising it, for people to recognise it's difficult. It is a difficulty. Your executive skills are so, I mean, just for me to get my front garden done, that is using your working memory, your organisation skills, prioritising. You know, I'm no good at prioritising, you know, at all. But just to do one task, even to wash up, it takes prioritising, initiation, you know, to start that project. You know, it takes so many skills. You know, people just don't understand. And then they're called lazy, you know. It's like, no, I just walk around in circles.
Yeah, I was reading something the other day about the difference between laziness, procrastination, and executive dysfunction. And laziness is really a person that they don't mind if it never gets done, or if someone else comes along and does it, they don't care.
No.
Procrastination was kind of in the middle, and then executive dysfunction is really, you really want to do that task, but you can't organise in your brain to actually, for starters, start.
Yeah, to initiate it.
Or to then carry it through to completion. Yeah. So it can be very frustrating.
And I think that's where the depression can set in, because you're not happy. You are not happy that the fact that you keep going off to work and forgetting your lunch, so you're starving for the day, or you get to the bus stop and you forgot your bus pass and you've got to come back and you've missed the bus, and then you're late for work, and or you get like on the motorway and you forgot to put petrol in, and it's like, you know, that causes non-stop frustration, really, isn't it? It's just,
or even you might be in the car and drive to the wrong place. I've done that. I go into autopilot. We've got an expressway right near us, and you hop straight on that to go through to the city. I've hopped on that sometimes when that wasn't where I was going, and you go right out of your way.
You know, deep in thought.
You've got to go right out of your way to get back to where you were meant to be going.
Yeah, exactly.
And so then it can come across. Yeah, sorry, you go.
Sometimes I just followed the car in front, and I'm like, I shouldn't be here. I should have gone back there.
Yeah, I find I do that a lot.
Yeah.
But it's easy for people to look at that and think that we're unintelligent, because we get simple things wrong. But I've got quite a good functional intelligence. Like, I'm quite intelligent, but I just get silly things out of place.
I think that's where, I think that's where society see ADHD and autism as a learning disability. Like your level of intelligence is. I mean, so many people say, "Oh, they can't be ADHD." They're very intelligent. Yes, that's normally because they are.
Yeah.
So the working memory. See, there's so much on working memory that people will just like, well, that's me.
So you had talked about support. What support could look like?
It depends. It depends again on the person and how their executive functions are. What functions are strong, because not all of them are going to be weak. You know, you could have no working memory, or very little working memory, but great organisation skills. So you are going to be that organised. You'll be forgetful, but you're going to have more organisation in your life than someone with limited whatever it is. I think, I mean, for instance, someone who just can't get off that circle of, you know, they can't get things straight, they can't do it. It doesn't matter. You can send a support worker in and you can make them, you're going to give that person so much stress that it's overwhelming for them. What needs to happen is you go in, you get everywhere done. I don't mean, you know, send the cleaners in. It's the case of, let's get straight. Let's get you straight, because you need that help to get you straight. And off you go, and let's see how long. You probably need someone to be coming in and not checking, but giving you that one bit of help, because slowly, you know, you can have your house immaculate, but within a couple of weeks, it's slowly and slowly.
Couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Couple of days in our household.
Always being good. I would say a couple of days too. And society has to realise, you know, if you've got your, you know, okay, a member of your family that really lives in chaos, you know, look further. You know, if they've got ADHD, they're going to have executive functioning weakness. You know, they need support. It's not going to happen on their own. You know,
rather than judgment.
They're not going to get them bills paid. You know, they will sit on the table, probably not open, because they just can't. They just, it's initiating. It's not initiating a task. Let's see what debts I've got to pay, and then it's likely to have the bailiffs, you know, on the way round, or going to court and having court fees onto it. It's frustrating. You become frustrated.
Yeah.
And then you've got no emotional control, and then you explode, and then you're angry, and then everyone says, calm down. Calm down.
I am calm.
Definite, yeah. And it's not that you can't do it. It's not that you can't wash up. It's the ability to initiate that task, to start it, you know, it's hard. And that sounds like, but when you're sitting there and it's like, I really need to get the breakfast, lunch and dinner washed up. Well, it's been great talking to you, Beck, and we're going to be discussing sensory processing next week, aren't we? So next Wednesday we'll have another video out, so but understanding the different senses, the 8 senses, because we don't have 5, we have 8.
Yep.
So, well, I will see you next week, Beck.
See you then.
Thanks for talking. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.